Well, hello and welcome. I'm your host, John RMS, otherwise known as AceBullion. And today I have a pretty cool coin that, well, I'm going to try to get my head around because I've had a lot of difficulties understanding just some basic little principles behind it. Anyway, it's been sent in by Martin, the Silver Trader, so please be sure to check out the links down below in the little more section, right about there, just like 3 dots, it says more. You'll find a link to the Silver Trader's website, you'll find a link to the Precious Metal Forum, and finally you'll find a link to my own personal website, AceBullion, where I'm actually sending off a load of silver today to be assayed. Anyway, moving on. So with that being said, let's find out what this coin's all about, and hopefully I can unconfuse the confused and let you guys know what's going on. Here we go. Well, here we are. This is the Lunar 3 series by the Perth Mint. Now, if, like me, you've been a little bit kind of baffled to wonder how this kind of fits in and, works with, let's say, the other half of your collections, and I'll show you a bit more about that in a little bit. Let me explain, because the Perth Mint is just a weird and wonderful company. But first, before I bash them, let me wish them a very well and deserved happy 125th birthday. Now, this coin here is part of their 125th birthday coin, but of course it's part of the Lunar 3 series. It has a rather high mintage because this is just the 1 ounce non-colorized BU version, and it has a mintage of 300,000, and they do sell out rather quickly. Now it's 495 silver, and it is a legal tender coin. We have Jody Clark's portrait here of Queen Elizabeth II, and just down here you can see Jody Clark's signature, Queen Elizabeth, and then we have the dates of when Queen Elizabeth had reigned. You can see the 1 ounce 4 fine silver, $1, Australia, and it's an absolute smashing coin for the non-colorized BU. I prefer the colorized ones. I know, I never thought I'd say that. Go back in my videos 3 and 4 years times and I hated colorized coins, but I don't know. You'll see. I think as I've gotten a little bit older, or I think my eyesight's going, I'm not quite sure which, I've decided that the colorized coins just help me see those extra little details. As we move on, we have a reeded edge going all the way alongside of it, and this is, of course, the Lunar Dragon. Now, this is where the confusion starts. There are 2 colorized versions going out at the moment, 1 yellow and 1 green. Whether or not I'm actually going to be showcasing those, that's another matter. I'll let you know in due time, of course. Now, those are a special run. Those are, from my understanding, those are not the BU colorized versions as you've just seen in my collection there. So those are very special carded versions, very similar to the American or Anna version of the Lunar Tiger. So, and I'll explain that as we go along, because the Perth Mint likes to throw in some weird and wonderful things every now and then in a collection that makes you want to buy it, and then you're not quite sure if it really belongs or fits in with your collection. Now, this is the Lunar Dragon. As you can see down below, we have 2024, and it says Dragon just above it. There we go. You could also see just off to the right here, we have P125, and that, of course, is the Perth Mint little special logo celebrating the 125th anniversary. Very cool. Now, there is the dragon there, which is kind of weird and wonderful all at the same time and a bit bizarre. I know a lot of people, this is like Marmite or like PB&J. You know, you're gonna love it or hate it, and you know, there's multiple reasons why. It's not your traditional standard dragon that you would see. It's not really, in my opinion, the best form of a dragon, because it's kind of, the dragon is actually coming at you head on, which, you know, I have to give the Perth Mint, you know, some credit here. At least they've been adventurous enough to try to tackle that. And, you know, most of them we get side-on views and everything else. This one is coming straight at you. And, of course, the confusion lies where we have its tail here, it's winding up, it's going through its body, you know, somewhere there. And then, of course, it comes out the head. And then you got the feet on both sides. So it looks kind of like a frog that's been smushed on the ground, dare I say. But this is the dragon. Look at the waves of whether, I think that's air or whatever, I'm not quite sure. We get lots of waves and swirly patterns. I'm going to assume it's going to be air, because that's the same thing that is coming out of the dragon's mouth. We also have the Pearl of Wisdom there, again with some air. Dragon's always chasing that. And yeah, it is just a superb little piece. So this is the 1 ounce BU bog standard non-colorized version. And why was I saying about being confused? Well, as I said, I wasn't sure how this would fit or not fit within my collection. And I've just been zooming out as I'm doing it. Now, I have not been collecting the non-colorized forms. In fact, I've been collecting the 1 ounce, the ½ ounce, and I was going to collect the little ¼ ounce versions when they first started. But, well, at the time, it seemed to have stopped. So, but now, of course, I can find one for the, I think it's the ox. But I can't find one, I think, for the, it's either the tiger or the ox. I can't find one at all, unless you go on Etsy, and you know that's going to be a fake version. One of these, I think it was a tiger, actually. So, or sorry, ox, was the Anna version. That was a carded version. So I'm expecting at some point the Perth Mint to release the BU colorized versions in the 1 ounce and ½ ounce. I'm also expecting them to release a 2 ounce version, and I'm expecting them to release obviously the gold versions, which leads me on to my next little bit of all of that, which would be, even though I got this one, which doesn't actually, I've thrown it in here only because, you know, it helps make my point. I think what I might be doing is I might be getting rid of, I say getting rid of, not including this into the series, and then just put in either a 1/10 or a ¼ ounce gold of each of them in the series. So that's something I think I need to give a little thought about and, you know, make up my mind. But, you know, everything else here is amazing, and I am looking forward to those normal BU versions of those colorized coins. So I know a lot of you have received the carded versions. What do you guys think of those so far? How many of you guys have bought the, you know, BU non-colorized? As I said, to me it looks a little bit like kind of a smushed frog, but you know, at the same time, it's the 125th anniversary for the Perth Mint, so that in itself is pretty dang special. Still doesn't, you know, if you don't like the coin, obviously, it still doesn't help the overall excitement on the coin, but you have to give the Perth Mint some credit for their, you know, them being rather unique and making a dragon head on. As I said, that's something that it's a mammoth challenge, and you know, I think for the most part they have done a relatively good job. The coin overall is not, you know, in any kind of damaged form. It's excusing the design. You know, it's not like the Royal Mint, for instance, where, you know, you can find milking, ripping, scratching, horrible stuff. If you want a nice design, or if you want a unique design, this is pretty dang awesome. And if you're collecting the series, then, well, you only have 4 that you're behind. So it's still plenty of time to still get in on it before the prices go skyrocket. Well, that's enough for me. I hope you guys have a great weekend wherever you may be. And I look forward to seeing you guys on Monday with some more videos. More silver here waiting. Some James Bondy stuff and all sorts of stuff, and you name it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys really do have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay warm, and bye for now.